Hello dear students, good afternoon. How are you? I hope you all are good. Let me welcome you all to Shivjyoti Educational Group Kota, and I am your mentor in English, Rajesh Dadich. So dear students, today we are going to start one of the new chapters of your book, and that is Vistas, and the chapter is On the Face of It. Chapter 6 of your supplementary reader, Vistas, On the Face of It. So, every time I have told you, whenever we are going to read any chapter, first of all, we have got to explain the meaning of the name of the chapter, the meaning of the title of the chapter. And here, the title is On the Face of It. What does it mean? Means something is there on the face and nothing is wrong with anybody's face. But some people start comparing their face to others. But this is not good, because God has given equal attributes, equal qualities to all human beings, right? And when it comes to beauty, because generally people think that the beauty feature comes directly to us from face. So you should know, face, beauty, facial beauty varies from person to person. Means the perception of beauty may vary from person to person, right? So let's go through this chapter, okay? So students, have a look. This chapter was written by Susan Hill, right? So this is a play featuring an old man and a small boy meeting in the farmer's garden. Farmer's garden means old man's garden. So let me tell you, this chapter has been presented, has been given in the form of a drama, or we may say that it has been presented in the form of interaction. Dialogues are there and two main characters are there. One is an old man, we have already talked about this old man, and another character of this drama is a small boy, right? So old man, this old man is known as Lemmy Lamb, because right now I won't tell you, otherwise you won't get as much interest in the chapter, in this drama, right? Later you will naturally come to know of it, okay? And another character is a small boy and his name is Derek, but he is known as Darry. In the drama you will find him as Darry, okay? So the old man strikes up a friendship with the boy, who is very withdrawn and defiant. Means the boy is of negative approach. The boy is not positive. The boy is not optimistic. Actually, a mishap had happened in his life. That's why since then he remained pessimistic, not optimistic. But somehow this old man tries to make this small boy, Darry, an optimistic person, and finally it does happen. But at the same time something wrong also happens, and what is that? That you will learn in the end, right? So what is the bond that unites the two? The two means this old man and a small boy, means Lemmy Lamb and Darry. So what kind of relationship evolves, develops between the two, that we have to learn, right? So you can see scene 1 is there, and scene 1, Mr. Lamb's garden is there. There is occasional sound of bird song and of tree leaves rustling. The sound of dry tree leaves are known as rustling sound, right? And if it had been the case of poetry, we would have called it onomatopoeia, right? But now this is a chapter, so Darry's footsteps are heard as he walks slowly and tentatively through the long grass. Darry, for the very first time, he ventures to enter this garden. So he is afraid, he is scared also, right? So he pauses, he stops, looks here and there. Maybe somebody is looking at me, somebody is watching me. In this way he is very cautious, he is very careful enough, right? Then walks on again Then again he continues to walk. He comes round a screen of bushes, so that when Mr. Lamb speaks to him, he is close at hand, and there is startled. There is shocked. There is surprised, startled. Right? So let's have this exchange of dialogues between the two, Mr. Lamb and Daddy. Right? Hey, mind the apples. What? Who is that? Who is there? Actually, Daddy didn't know anybody might be there in that garden. So, freely, carefree, in a carefree mood, he entered the garden. But all of a sudden, he found somebody warning him, advising him, suggesting him to be careful enough, because apples were found here and there, got scattered on the land. Some crab apples, right? So, he got shocked. What? Who is that? Who is there? Mr. Lamb. Oh, my name is Lamb. Mind the apples. Crab apples those are. Wind falls in the long grass, you could trip. Oh child, be careful while walking in the garden, because some crab apples are lying here, scattered here and there. One more reason is there, and you may get stuck in the long grass and you may fall down, dear child. So be careful. Right? Daddy, I thought this was an empty place. I didn't know there was anybody here. Actually, I didn't know of it earlier. That's why I came here freely. Daddy means to say, had I already known of the presence of anybody in the garden, I would never have thought of entering this garden. So, I'm sorry, I must leave now. So, he felt uncomfortable, right? He was about to leave that garden. Okay, dear students, so have a look. Okay, all right, that's all right, I'm here. What are you afraid of, boy? That's all right. I thought it was empty, an empty house. So it is still empty house. So what difference does it make if somebody is there or it is empty? What difference does it make? Since I'm out here in the garden, it is empty. You know, dear child, earlier when I was in the house, this was not empty, but now I am not in the house, but I am in the garden. That's why this house is empty. So, does it make any difference now? It should not. Until I go back inside, means as long as I am outside, this house is empty. But as soon as I am in my house, it won't remain empty. So, got it, dear child? It makes no difference whether I am in the garden or in my house. So, feel comfortable, feel at home. In the meantime, I am out here and likely to stop. I want to spend some of my moments in this garden. That's why I am outside. A day like this, how fine it is, means the weather is very fine. That's why I came out. A day like this, beautiful day, not a day to be indoors. Who would like to remain indoors when the weather is so fine, right? That's why I also thought it better to come out. He got a bit panicked. Oh, I have to go. Daddy was feeling uncomfortable, so he is about to leave. Oh, not on my account. Hey, dear child, just stop it. Do you want to leave? I won't stop you. But please, don't leave because of me. Don't leave on the account of my presence. Yes, I'm not telling you to leave, so feel comfortable. I don't mind who comes into the garden. The gate is always open. You can see over there, the gate is always open. So I don't mind who is coming, who is entering my garden. Only you climb the garden wall. Every time what happens, people whosoever feel like coming to my garden, they just come to my garden through the gate, right? Through the gate, which always remains open. But you are the first person, you seem to be the first person who has entered this garden by climbing the wall. I don't know why. Oh, the boy got a bit angry and okay, so you were watching me, you were spying, you were observing me? Oh, I say you, but the gate is open. All welcome. I don't mind the presence of anybody. Okay, so everybody is welcome. You are welcome. I sit here, I like sitting. You know, I would not come to steal anything. This is I would not come, and this is I had not come. So how can we identify? Look, students, if it is head, third form of the verb will be there. If it is would, first form of the verb is there. But coincidentally, come, came, come. First person, first form and third form both are same. But here it means I had not come to steal anything. The boy is sharing his purpose with the old man, that he did not enter the garden with a view, with an intention of stealing anything, means crab apples the old man was worrying about. Okay? So the boy is making it clear. No, the young let steal. My dear child, I am just talking about young boys, smaller boys. You are not a small boy, you look just like a grown up boy. He is just joking. So he is saying, actually I am just talking about young boys, not you. Scrum the apples. You are not so young, you are not as young, right? So you look 13 around, but all of a sudden that boy, daddy interrupted and he said, no, I am not 13, I am 14. He felt proud, right? So you are not so young. I just want you to come into the garden. I just like that only. I just come into the garden. So what? So you did. Here we are then. You did means you entered. So what? You don't know who I am. Do you know who I am? Oh, you are just a boy, 13 or so. No, I am 14, but I have got to go now. Goodbye. We are not friends, and what is my purpose of staying over here? You are already here. So I think I must leave now. Goodbye. Oh, nothing to be afraid of, dear child. You don't need to be afraid of anything or anybody. Just a garden, just me. Only this is just a garden. I am sitting here all alone and you are here. So what are you afraid of? You need not be afraid of anything or anybody. But I am not. I am not afraid. People are afraid of me. Excuse me, sir. I am not afraid of anybody. But people are. People are afraid of me. They are scared of me. Why? Why should that be? Means why should people be, so-called people as you are saying, why should people be afraid of you? Everyone is. It doesn't matter who they are or what they say or how they look, how they pretend. I know, I can see, I know whosoever they are, whosoever they do, whatsoever they do and whatever they look. But I know one thing. They all are pretending that they are not scared of me, but I know this, that inwardly they all are afraid of me. I can see on their face. Yes. See what? What can you see? What they think. I can see means I can find out. I know that they are afraid of. So he is just, this Mr. Lamb is asking, what are they afraid of? Actually, what they think, I can guess, I can read out their face, and from their faces I can come to know that they all are afraid of me. What do they think then? Oh, you think, here's a boy. Daddy is saying, what do you think? You are also just thinking that just a boy of 13 or 14 has come and you look at me, you are just looking at me, and then you see my face and you think, and looking at my face, you just think something else. I know that you are also feeling a bit scared of me, afraid of me. Am I right, sir? Am I right? That's bad. But this is not good. That's bad. That's a terrible thing. That's the ugliest thing I ever saw. You think, poor boy. I'm not. Sir, I am not a poor boy. So you need not show your sympathy. You should not show your pity on me. But I am not. I am poor. Underneath you are afraid. Anybody would be afraid. I am. Whosoever I am, I am. I am what I look. When I look in the mirror and see it, I am afraid of me. So why are you thinking of being afraid or not afraid? I know the reality. I myself, whenever I have a look at myself in the mirror, I also get scared. But scared of what? So scared of me. of my face, how ugly, how terrible my face is. So I also get afraid of myself. Right, students? Now Mr. Lamb is saying, no, not the whole of you, not of you. Whatever you are saying is not true. Right, I do not agree to what you are saying. I am not at all afraid of you. Daddy, yes sir. Don't pretend. You also look afraid of me. Later on, when it's a bit cooler, I will get the ladder. Mr. Lamb is now saying, after a little pause, after some time, when it is a bit cooler, means the temperature gets cooler, I will get the ladder and a stick and pull down those crab apples from the tree, and they are ripe for it. I will make jelly. You know, I make jelly from these crab apples. What I do, I just use them while preparing jelly. It's a good time of year. September is the good season. Look at them, orange and golden shade they have got, and that's magic fruit. I often say, but it's best picked and made into jelly. But the best utilization of these crab apples is to prepare jelly from them. You could give me a hand. So will you please help me? Will you please assist me? Daddy, what have you changed the subject for? So don't you think you have just changed the subject matter? Earlier we were talking about my face, my ugly face, and now you have just changed the subject matter and you have started talking about your so-called crab apples. I got nothing to do with what you are doing with your crab apples. So I think you have just changed the subject matter. Am I right, sir? People always do that. Generally it happens. Why don't you ask me, sir? What's your problem? Why don't you ask me so many questions? Why don't you put up your questions regarding my ugly face, regarding my appearance? Don't change the subject matter and come to the point. Why don't you ask me? Why do you do what they all do and pretend it isn't true and isn't there? In case I see you looking and mind and get upset, I will tell. You don't ask me because you are afraid to, sir. Actually, the reality is you yourself are scared of me, afraid of my ugly face. That's why you also do not put up any question. You are also afraid what kind of answer I would give. Am I right, sir? Mr. Lamb, you want me to ask? Okay, child. Oh, and again you are insisting me on putting up some questions regarding your look. You want that? Okay, so then I don't like being with people, any people. The boy is saying, I don't like to be in the company of people. Right. Mr. Lamb, I should say, to look at it, I should say, you got to burn in a fire. Okay, so if my guess is true, your face might have got burnt in a fire. No, not in a fire. I got acid all down that side of my face and it burned it all away. It ate my face up, it ate me up, and now it's like this and it won't ever be any different. Now no difference will be there in future, and my face has been spoiled, means spoiled. That is what I am, that is what I look. Right, sir? So in this way the boy is responding to the old man. Mr. Lamb, no. Who says that this acid has eaten you up entirely? Who says it has spoiled your face? Because the inner beauty remains inside, and that is the real beauty. Real beauty always remains inside us, not outside. Because outside beauty, outward beauty just tend to decay in the due course of time. That is temporary, and real beauty lies in the actions, in the deeds we perform throughout our life. Right? So you are a boy who came into the garden. Plenty do. So many people do. So many people come. I am interested in anybody, anything. There is nothing God made that doesn't interest me. Yes, I strongly believe in God. I strongly believe in the existence of God. So whatever has been created by God I do believe in that. So, whosoever or whatsoever has been created by God, I have full faith in the creation of God. Look over there. Over beside the far wall, what can you see? Look over there. A long wall is there. So, what do you see over there? Along the wall, what do you see? Rubbish. Useless things are there. Rubbish. Look, boy, look carefully. What else you see? What do you see? Oh, just grass and stuff, weeds. While grass is the unwanted grass is there. Unwanted grass means weeds. Okay. So, Mr. Lamb, some call them weeds. If you like, then a weed garden that. Some people, I told you in the beginning that the perception of beauty may vary from person to person, means these look weeds to you, but people who are positive, people who believe in the beauty of nature do not call them weeds, right? There is a fruit and there are flowers and trees and herbs, so many things are there, but you had a look at weeds only? All sorts, all types of things are there created by God. Why is one growing plant called a weed and another flower? All these are creations of God, and some creations are known as flowers and some creations are known as plants. Some are green, some are yellow. This is the magic of, this is the miracle of God's creation. It's all life, and dear child, this is what we call life, okay? Growing same as you and me. We all are the parts of this nature, Mother Earth, Mother Nature. So, you are same, I am same, everything is same. We are not the same. Now, the boy is retorting and he doesn't seem to agree. He is saying, not the same, sir. We are not the same. Mr. Lamb, I am old, you are young. You have got a burnt face, I have got a thin leg, means artificial leg, right? Not important. You are standing there, I am sitting here. Where is the difference? Tell me, where is the difference? Why have you got a thin leg? What? You have got an artificial leg? Why? Thin leg means artificial leg, right? So, why have you got that? Actually, real one got blown off. In an explosion, I lost my leg years back. Lame means one who walks staggeringly, so is known as a lame. So, lamb, some kids say, haven't you heard them? You will hear later or sooner. Lamb, it fits, it suits to my personality because I am lame, I am a lame man. So, it suits to my personality. So, why should I mind what the other people are calling me, right? Doesn't trouble me, dear child, it doesn't trouble me. But you can put on trousers and cover it up. It means artificial leg and no one sees, they don't have to notice and stare, right? No baby, no dear. Some do, some don't. They get tired of it. It means everybody is used to now. So, to a little extent only people keep talking about us or about our personality or about our looks. But ultimately, they also get used to each and everything and they stop talking about the same thing over and again. Got it? Okay, you mean to say like my face? Means people must be used to my face also? Like a crab, like crab apples or the weeds or a spider. No, dear child, every time why do you come to your face only? So many other things also are there we can talk about, like crab apples, this so called weeds as you call it, and spider climbing up a silken ladder, or my tall sunflowers, all these. But sir, these are not people, these are things. It's all relative, but it all depends. What difference does it make? Because sometimes non-human beings are there and sometimes human beings are there. So, what difference does it make? Everything, everybody has been created by God. It's all relative. Beauty and the beast. Beauty and beast means ugly, right? What's that supposed to mean? So, what do you mean by beauty and the beast? Okay, then you tell me. You also must have heard of it. Yes, sir. So you tell me. You need not think, they haven't all told me that fairy story before. It's not what you look like. So actually people haven't told me much about this Beauty and the Beast, but whatever I know is that it's not important what you look, it's not important how you look, but it's important the beauty of your deeds you do throughout your lifetime. That only can make you immortal. Your deeds, your good deeds can only make you immortal. Otherwise, rest of all things are same, sir. What this handsome is as handsome does, right? Handsome is as handsome does means man is known by the beauty of his deeds, not by the beauty of his face. Beauty loved the monstrous beast for himself, and when she kissed him, he changed into a handsome prince. Only he would not. He would have stayed a monstrous beast. I won't change. Yes, had the girl had that beauty, not kissed that beast, ugly creature, he would not have turned into a handsome being, handsome human being, right? But don't worry, I won't change. In what? In that way? No, you won't. No, you won't change in that way, Daddy, and no one will kiss me, sir. That beautiful girl kissed that beast, ugly beast. But as I am concerned, nobody is ever going to kiss me. Only my mother, and she kisses me on the other side of my face, which is normal, which is not burnt, right? And I don't like my mother to kiss me. She does it because she has to, means she has no other option. Being a mother, she has to love me, and this is what I do not want. Forcibly, if somebody is loving somebody else, I do not like this. Even my mother also loving me like this, I do not like it. Why should I like that? I don't care if nobody ever kisses me. I don't care. But do you care if you never kiss them? What? Actually, I am talking about girls. Pretty girls, long hair and large eyes. Don't you think people you love, won't you like to kiss them? Oh, who would let me, sir? Who would allow me to kiss them? Right? No one. Who can tell that you would not be allowed to kiss anyone? Who can tell? I won't ever look different. Now the child is saying, I won't ever look different if somebody kisses me, or if I happen to kiss somebody. When I am as old as you, I will look the same. I will also look as old as you are looking right now. When I also come to your age, I will have half a face. But it won't make any difference to me, because my face will remain as it is. That won't be normal like the other one, right? So, Mr. Lamb, so you will, don't worry child, you will also change, but the world won't. The world has got a whole face, and the world's there to be looked at. The world is so beautiful to have a look at, so don't mind. Do you think this is the world, this old garden? Oh, when I am here, not the only one, but the world, as much as anywhere. When I am in my garden, I think this whole garden is just a world for me, right? So, does your leg hurt you? Oh, tin doesn't hurt, boy. When it came off, did it? Means he is just asking, sir, actually what happened and when did it happen? Yeah, certainly. Means he is just asking, whenever you remove your tin leg, artificial leg, does it ever hurt you? Then he is saying, certainly, of course, whenever I remove it for any reason, it just hurts me. Now and then in wet weather, it doesn't signify, it makes no difference, but whenever there is a change in the weather, it just hurts. Oh, that's something else they all say. Look at all those people who are in pain and brave and never cry and never complain and do not feel sorry. That is just justifying in better. It doesn't signify, oh, that's something else they all say. Generally people talk like this only. Look at those people who are in pain and brave and never cry and never complain and don't feel sorry for themselves. So look at those people who have, despite being hurt, they never cry, they are never found grudging, right? They have no grudges. Mr. Lamb, I haven't said it. So you think I am grudging? You think that I am talking about my pain when it hurts? No, not at all.